Good morning, Anna. J. Mike, what were you doing down in the cornfield? I think we might, maybe, start harvest today. But first, ranching chores, which consist of opening this door. Come on out. Come over here and finish your pumpkin guts. Isla did a whole bunch of pumpkin carving. Finish them up. Got two ladies making breakfast for us. One over here waiting. All right, I'll leave you alone. Morning, Larry. Morning, Chicken Jockey. It is potentially going to be the hottest day that I've ever harvested anything. We are supposed to have a high of 87 degrees today, which is unbelievable for this time of year for us. It's just what we need to help dry the fields out a little bit because we've had so much dang rain all summer long. Plus, of course, it helps dry our corn down. So right now our corn has reached maturity, and the longer it stands in the field and the more heat we get, the more it dries down. And that for us means easier harvesting conditions. It shells off nicer, it flows easier, in and out of the trucks and everything easier. Plus it doesn't cost nearly as much to dry down. There go the ducks. Onyx's mallards. They get up every once in a while and they circle the yard. They're totally free range, by the way, but they don't leave. And they're real mallards. They just hang out in the yard. And they'll get up and they'll make a couple laps around the yard and then they land back in the backyard and they graze around all day. If we start today, which I think we probably will, it's going to be a bit of a slow start because we've got a new combine that's never seen the field. We've got a new header that's never seen the field. We've got some new technology in that machine, the new combine, so it isn't like we're just taking a new combine that's exactly the same as the old one, but there's some new stuff in there, probably some calibrating, who knows what all, but it'll be a slow start to get everything up and rolling before we get familiar with it. The dogs and I are gonna go check out the bean field that I hope goes today. It's only about a mile up the road. If this one doesn't look ready to go, we've got another one 5-6 miles north, but I'm really hoping this one goes because it's just always nicer to start everything close to home in case you need tools or you got to run back to the shop, whatever. They're a little bit ugly. This end of this field is always wet. We've got iron chlorosis problems, which allowed the water hemp to come through. You can see the green leaf areas there where the beans have not completely finished off yet. A little bit nicer when I walk out here, but overall, I don't think we're gonna have an average bean crop. I think we'll be below. This is an ugly spot in this field for sure. Ish. Part of it, not every field is awesome, but are they dry enough? It's early. Beans are always a little tougher in the morning, but these ones are not. They would go right now. There's no dew. There's a breeze, plenty of sun. Yeah. They would go right now. So the question then is, do we grind through these green spots and blend them off? Or do we go to the other field? And if we stay here, the next question is, do we put them in our bins or do we take them to the elevator? You know, honestly, by the time we'd get up here and have a couple of semi-trucks full anyway, we got plenty of time to decide and see what they really look like. You two still here? Looks like it. Just staging it for a quicker getaway when Dad gets here. If you listen closely, you'll hear the German Shepherd start up with the combine. I hate to do it, but I'm gonna. I don't want to sit on this all day. I want to sit on that. But I'll leave this one. I'm gonna spend a minute here going through some of the automatic settings that I know about. So I'm gonna open up the grain tank. And if I go up here, I've got my harvest automation settings right here. So I've got my ground speed, which I currently have off. That's going to predict the yield and the throughput and change the speed. I've got my harvest settings. I have that on and terrain settings on. So it should automatically sort of predict or know what the grain is coming in and make adjustments on its own to everything that does all the threshing. So we can put clean soybeans back here as efficiently as possible. But it's not something I've used for a while. So we're gonna get used to that hopefully, and then we'll do the predictive ground speed. Is that what they call it? Ground speed automation, yeah. We'll get used to that a little later. We haven't even started yet, and there's been a change of plans. We're gonna go to a totally different field. And it's about the easiest one because it's right here at home behind the shop. It's got the same variety of soybean in it as that last field I checked on, and they look like about the same as that field, so why not go right at home? We gotta go 6 more feet about. Another 2 feet right there. Maybe just creep an inch.
Is that a new screen? I haven't. Do the tractors have that too?
Yes, this is the Gen 5 screen.
No, that.
Oh, that's new.
Yeah.
I think the new tractors have one like that, but we don't have any that has that. Okay. Saw the dog behind us, so we should be good on the head.
Never driven a brand new combine, have you? Well, I guess there you almost broke your first sickle section.
It was pretty tiny.
It was. Do the wind systems come on most of the new headers now from Deere, or did Prairie come out and put this one on?
Prairie came out. Don't you watch the videos on it?
I don't.
Speaking of that, we have to go back. I have to go out and turn the wind system on.
I kind of figured that the way they were piling up on the thing that it wasn't on.
Well, we made it 30 feet so far. No problems yet, other than I forgot to turn the wind system on. And there we go. It's got a wireless box now, so you don't have to hook and unhook any cords or cables or anything. It just Bluetooths up into the cab on the control box. And it's got a solar charger on it, but you don't really want to leave it on for 12 months out of the year. Honestly, that looks a little too clean in there, so we're gonna get out and go see. There's definitely some green ones in there. Usually if it's too clean in the tank, you gotta open the machine up a little bit because we're probably throwing some back on the ground. I don't know, we'll find out. I'm not seeing or finding any unthreshed pods. Even the green ones are threshed out. Dad's checking back there, but I wasn't really up to speed yet until I got here. Yeah.
Not horrible.
I don't see the head leaving beans out here. What'd you see? I was going a little slower back there.
I thought it looked really good. There were, I saw 4 or 5 thrown over, but I dug quite an area.
Yeah.
There are a couple more big and swelled up yet. So
I'm getting some of the big swelled ones that I can find on the ground. The tank is really clean.
The tank is?
There's like no pods in there at all, so it's even threshing the green ones out because there's green beans in there.
Okay, and the green ones, they go in the bin, they'll dry.
They'll dry, yeah.
The pods that are the worst.
Right. So it's pretty clean back there, probably cleaner than I thought it would be considering it's real clean in there. And I mean, I can't find a bean here from the head, so it's pretty close. The yield monitor is definitely not correct yet. It's going to calibrate itself and figure things out a little better. Where the beans are decent, they're showing 12%, which is what I would definitely believe, but every time we go through a green patch, they jump way up, which is normal. Well, isn't this kind of fun? That is probably the cleanest sample I've ever seen. The beans look tiny, they look like little BBs. But if we're not putting beans on the ground, we've got a super clean sample back there. Now there's a much more believable yield and moisture. Mid-40s, that's much more of what I would expect out here, especially on the ends right here. The monitor climbs up pretty good in the wet spots, but they're 11 to 13%.
That's what I heard.
And they're tiny.
The guy said 10% green beans in there with it.
Yeah.
Just too warm, too fast.
Yep.
We're not used to that.
They're going to start chattering now.
Not till this afternoon.
Not for a couple hours. But they're tiny. They're little tiny BBs.
That's what I saw. Some that looked like you maybe have been throwing some over in the middle.
Okay.
They were really tiny, the ones that were over.
Really little, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, generations 5 and 7 are gonna go check the moisture on the soybeans and maybe get a semi-truck down here. That is impressive. The stuff you see against the window is always the dirtiest part. I see one pod down there. I sure hope it stays that way for all the acres. Just don't like how tiny they are. We've had way too much rain and our beans hate that. Well, there's some bitter beans. 60-ish. Yeah, I get it, that's not Iowa, Illinois beans, but 60 would make, I mean, we're not gonna average 60. We won't average anywhere close to that, but that's good beans for us. Well, if we don't keep this dry weather up, we're gonna be really battling some wet fields. You can see the tracks I left here, climbing up that hill all the way through. And it's not much of a hill. It's pretty rare that it's wet in there. So we're wet. Grain tank is 3/4 full. Handy little camera. There we go. It's the first dump of the season. Oh, look at that.
Just want to make sure you're talking the field right here.
Before you pull in here, Onyx, give me just a minute. I'll open up a little more room for you. There's a third of a load into the new grain cart, so we're empty there. Now I'm going to take off across the field. Got some of the ends off. We're getting some stuff moving here. I finally broke through right through the middle of the field. There's some more uglier green spots through here than I expected. That sample that Dad and Onyx took in was 11.5%, so that's good. But you can see, oh man, that's wet. That's really wet, heavy straw right there. But this is, I did purposely kind of stop in a wet spot here. One of the other things is I don't have the automation on yet. So the machine will automatically calibrate itself and move up and down to match what the beans are coming in. But I just haven't started playing with that yet because everything's new to me. Heavy green straw, isn't it?
Yeah, I thought they might get drier after you got off the enders, but they got wetter.
Right. Unfortunately, we have made the decision after our powwow in the field here that we're going to swing this one up by the truck and park it and take the other machine up and get that one started in the other field north of here, because these beans, they're just not quite ready. Which is a little odd. You'd expect them to be wetter on the end rows where they were drier, but once we got into the field, they got a little bit wetter. We kind of expected a slow start anyway, so this isn't a big surprise, but it's hard once you get moving to stop a machine, especially when it's 85 degrees and sunny out. From one machine to the next. Yes, it makes it a little bit easier because this way, you know, we're kind of getting one machine started at a time. The other one was the one I was concerned about. We've had this one for a long time. This one should be easy, but I hope I didn't speak too soon. You can sure see across the tops of the fields a lot better from up here. Gives you a little bit better of an idea of what's out there right now. We know we tested some corn here the other day. I'm guessing this stuff's around 28-ish% right now for moisture. So we need the extra days to dry it down. I mean, we'll take it at 28. We've done that plenty of times, but it's not nearly as fun. It doesn't flow as nice. It doesn't thresh as nice. It doesn't dry down as nice. Dad wanted to run his machine, so he's gonna start up with that one. Onyx and I are gonna take this trailer home, probably come back with a Ranger and just make sure things are going good. Look
Look
chickens.
at the back of that one. Look at how chewed that is. Just avoiding me.
Your dog's got stinky breath. Were you going 4 miles an hour here?
Yeah, I wasn't even looking at the speed.
Okay. It's clean, the ground is clean, but it looked like you were going slow.
I might have been going slow. I was kind of watching everything else.
Yeah.
Still a few green pods, but I think it's the low areas that were drowned out all summer. And
Yep. That's where the water hemp came through.
Staying 9–10%, then I'll jump up to 14 for a few seconds and back down to 10.
Sure.
So I think they're dry, but we got green pods in there.
The ground is clean, but they're a little bit dirtier in the tank. Some of that could have to do with just being a ugly area in the field. Nothing cleans as well when you're sending green stems through with it. It's not muddy on top, but it's definitely a little softer here than normal, so probably make sure we don't overheat the trucks too much. We are gonna move this combine, hey Didge, we are gonna move this combine up to the other field because we think there's more acres of beans up there that will go, so we may as well knock it out. "10 feet, slow down." Well, I had to run back home again. Our pumper truck is here. So for those of you who have been around for a while, you know we got to pump these pits every year. So we've already pumped 2,000 gallons of water out of this one and the truck went full. It's just water. It's stinky water, but it's just water. So they're down around yonder, dumping it in the prairie grass. And when they get back, we'll finish pumping that one and move to this one. And once that's all done, then I think I'll go back to combining. Pits are dry and clean. Unbelievable. If you remember back 4 years ago, 5 for sure, we used to crawl in there. I mean, I would physically crawl down in there with a sump pump tied to a rope and hand the rope up to Dad and tie the pump up in there somewhere, and we'd run it out onto the yard. And that stuff would stink all fall, and it would take us a whole day to get those pits done. This is just an unbelievable time saver. It is a no-brainer. So, Johnson Jetline out of Kensington, Minnesota. I don't know if they want more business like that or not. They do a lot of bigger things than pumping out my pits every year. But thank you guys. Well, I got to have a little snack in the air conditioning and I picked up a passenger. All right, you hop in the big seat and fire it up. There you go.
Okay, I'm empty.
Because the only thing I can change speeds on as of now is by shifting the thing forward.
That is a beautiful sight right there. Well, that's not good. Charge air cooler outlet temperature high, engine power limited. Reduce engine speed. Okay, here's the story. When we brought this machine home from the dealer, it was dry, all good to go. It sat in the shed for a day or two, and when I moved it in the yard, we had an oil leak. A nasty one, a wicked one, back at one of the coolers that sprayed directly into the big fan. Like the big fan. And it sprayed oil on everything. You pick an item on this combine, and it was covered in oil long before it ever got to the field. So we're gonna go back and look at that cooler area. But this is actually the second time this has happened in the last hour. We did our best to wash the 187 gallons of oil off the machine when we got it, or after we had it for a bit. But it is a mess, and what I think is happening is that all the coolers are packed full of oil, and all this bean dust is doing that inside the coolers. See, that's oil. And that looks like we still have a leak. I mean, it looks like it's still coming from somewhere. And to be honest with you, I think the absolute only thing I can do about it is take it home and give this thing a bath in the morning with a hot pressure washer and some degreaser, and then see if it keeps leaking from somewhere. It's gross and frustrating. I think we need to get it home, put it on the concrete, and wash it all out really good tomorrow morning, because it's gonna keep overheating. I think there might still be an oil leak up there because there's a lot of wet spots, but I don't think you'll ever find it until we wash it up and see where the new stuff's coming from.
Okay, do you think we want to drop the head just in the field and take it home tonight then?
Yeah, we got to bring it home and put it on the concrete.
Okay.
But it's 7:30 at night now anyway, and this thing did it again, so there's definitely an issue of some sort. Could just be a sensor, but it's not. So I'm gonna unhook this header, bring it home, and plan on washing this thing in the morning. Which is not very convenient.
Want me to follow you home in this, or are we just gonna leave this here tonight because it's not, we already have enough vehicles to take back?
I think on that cart, get it, you can fill it to whatever you want, but try to get it so you can tarp it, and then you can bring my pickup back. Or are you all good? I'll run this thing home then, put it on the concrete.
Yep, I'll do one more hopper here, and then I'll be done for the night. We can leave the cart. No mind, I'll bring one truck home.
All right, I'm parked on the wash pad for the morning. Let this thing cool down a little bit, and then I'll climb around on it and wash a bunch of oil up in the morning. So that won't be fun. And then I got to drive into town immediately after that, because at 10:30 I get a cortisone shot in this shoulder, and that won't be fun either. But once that cortisone kicks in, it's going to be fun, because then I'll have some use of this arm again. Has anyone out there watching ever had surgery in your AC joint? I need it in both of them. Got arthritis in both sides. I was kind of hoping I could hold off on that like another 20, 30, 60 years or so, but it's gotten pretty bad. So I don't know. What's the recovery like? How bad is it? I'm contemplating doing it in December, if I could at this point. Well, a little bit disappointing here at the end, but we got a lot of things moving today. The beginning of harvest is always just kind of slow like that. There's a lot of just moving pieces. There's so many moving pieces to keeping the operation going. So it was slow, but the beans aren't necessarily 100% ready anyway. So kind of like every year, we jump the gun by a couple of days and work our way through, work some bugs out, and we'll get going here. That old bin site will be making noise before we know it. Good night, chickens. 19 of them. That's good. That's what we started with this morning. I always like to check at night. Nobody's lost. That's good. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Check you next time. See you, bye. Toodles. Farmers Business Network was created by farmers to put farmers first. So join me and tens of thousands of other farmers over at FBN.com, where it's free to become a member. You can get access to their digital insight system. You can get transparent pricing on things like seed, chemical, and animal health, and you can get instant approval for things like ag financing and marketing premiums. Again, it's free to become a member, so join me and everybody else over at FBN.com.